deep in the heart of Wonderland, where the teacups danced and the clocks spun backwards. There was a wonderful custom. Every spring, when the March winds began to blow and the Red Queen's roses were in full bloom, all the teacups in the kingdom would come alive and hold a great parade to celebrate. Oh, how they paraded with joy and glee, these teacups, saucers, pots and pans. They would skip and hop and twirl and waltz, making the most enchanting music with their clinking and their jangle. And the children of Wonderland loved it so much that they would gather around in their finest clothes to watch the parade and cheer for their favorite teapots and teacups. And one year, during the great teacup parade, as the little rabbit was hopping merrily along with his friends, suddenly he found himself separated from the group. "Oh dear," cried the little rabbit. "I've lost my friends. What shall I do?" He looked around and saw only strange teacups and saucers with painted roses on them, and could not find a single friendly face. The little rabbit felt a tear coming to his eye, for if he couldn't find his friends soon, he would surely miss the grand finale of the teacup parade, the spectacular pouring of the golden tea. You know, this was no ordinary tea. It was made with flowers picked by the March Hare and the Dormouse, who had a marvelous garden deep in the woods. And the tea tasted like sweet dreams and smelled like cinnamon and spice. It was said that if you drank enough of it, you could understand the language of birds and be friends with all the animals in the forest. But alas, the golden tea would only be poured for a very short while, just long enough for everyone to have a little taste. And then the teacups would march back into their shelves, back into their cupboards. And the children of Wonderland would have to wait another year until the next spring for the parade to start again. Oh, how the little rabbit wished he could find his friends and join them in drinking the golden tea. But which way should he go? Which way was his friend the March Hare, who always wore a big blue bow tie? Or which way was the cozy teapot with the smiling sundial face, who lived in the house with the gingerbread roof? Just then, the little rabbit heard a voice. Little rabbit, are you lost?" Startled, the little rabbit jumped and turned around to see a girl with hair the color of carrots and a dress like a strawberry tart. "Are you lost, little rabbit?" the girl asked, and the little rabbit, wiping his eyes with a handkerchief, told her how he had become separated from his friends, and how he wanted to find them before the golden tea was poured and it was too late. "Oh, don't cry, little rabbit," said the girl kindly. "We'll help you find your friends." And with that, she took the little rabbit's paw in hers and led him through the crowd of teacups. The girl asked all the teacups and saucers if they had seen a little rabbit or any of his friends, but none of them had, and the little rabbit began to lose hope that he would find his friends in time for the tea. When suddenly, just ahead, he saw a familiar sight, a white rabbit hole with a sign that read, "Beware of the Jabberwock." And the little rabbit cried out, "That's my home. That's where my friends are." But the girl with the strawberry tart dress said, "I'm sorry, but we can't go there. The Jabberwock lives in the rabbit hole, and he's very fierce." Why, just the other day he ate up all the tarts in the Duchess's kitchen, and she wasn't even done baking them. Then the little rabbit had an idea. He thanked the girl for her help and raced toward the rabbit hole, his nose twitching. He took a deep breath and shouted in his best and bravest voice, "I fear no Jabberwock," and promptly stuck his entire head in the rabbit hole. He wiggled his nose at the Jabberwock and yelled, "Beware of the rabbit." Then he ran as fast as he could. Now, you must understand that a rabbit's nose works just like a television antenna, picking up all kinds of signals and sounds. And the little rabbit's nose told him that the Jabberwocky was not just a big, mean monster, but he was lonely and he was sad. So instead of being afraid, the little rabbit hopped right up to the edge of the rabbit hole and called out, "Why are you so grumpy? Let's be friends." And the Jabberwock, surprised by the rabbit's kindness, sniffed and grumbled, "Well, actually, I'm very lonely. All the other creatures in Wonderland are afraid of me, and I just want someone to be my friend." So the little rabbit invited the Jabberwock to come to the teacup parade and drink some of the golden tea. And the Jabberwock, overjoyed to have a friend, happily agreed. And together, the little rabbit and the Jabberwock went off to find the others, and they drank the sweet dream tea and celebrated with all the teacups and saucers in Wonderland. And they all lived happily ever after.